Good morning, good afternoon, and good day to everyone except for the people that work at Variety. We are here for another awesome episode of That Park Place Midday Magic, if that's what we're calling this show. Folks, my name is Marvin Montanaro. I am the editor-in-chief of a little website called That Park Place, and it is my pleasure to be here bringing you guys all the theme park and theme park adjacent news of the day here on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. But I can't do that alone, guys. We need you, the audience, but I also need the panel. So let's bring out my Wookiee co-pilot right away, Mr. Vash Sky.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me, Marvin. Yes, what happened in Variety? Did I miss something here?
What? I just had to write an article for Geeks and Gamers where they were like, Halle Bailey discusses the racist backlash that she received for The Little Mermaid. I looked through the article and all her quotes. She never once said the word racist. Not one time. And they framed it as if she was out there just lambasting the fans. She actually had a very measured and kind of polite response. I faced some backlash, but I grew from it and I learned from it. But they're just they were like, oh, these racist trolls. I can't stand Variety, dude. It is the antithesis of the idea that journalism standards should matter in entertainment.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
And here's the rest of our panel, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely Miss Erica and the wonderful Magically MJ. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
It's Wednesday. And we're here.
Yes.
Time is flying by. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, how is it already Wednesday?
It's wild.
Dragged on for me. I don't know about you guys, but
it's crazy.
But we have got a lot to get to today. There's so much. There's so much shape language in the air, guys, that I have a hard time even figuring out where to go first. But you know what? I think I know where we're going first. The first place we're going is to our wonderful chat, our wonderful audience. We count on your generous super chats to keep the lights on in the newsroom around here. And we take breaks in between stories to read your super chats. We do move super chats of $50 or more up to the front of the line. So let's see what you guys have to say. Juliet, our wonderful mod, checking in for £2 sterling. That's proper money. Says, afternoon, That Park Place and chat. Afternoon to you, Juliet. The first Dragon Queen, remember, for 14 months, is Rocky Parts out for delivery. Hugs for all. Yeah, Dragon Queen is saying she's going to try to create an animatronic version of Rocky from Project Hail Mary.
That's so cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
I would call it Amaze.
Yes. Well, that's a very ambitious project there. First Dragon Queen, but, good luck on your efforts. Indeed. Sorry.
Dash, did you see the movie?
Yes, I did. Everything through a puppet. No CGI there.
I think the only time he's CGI'd might have been when he's in the little ball. Because they used to it, or some of the shots when he's in the ball. Yeah. But for the most part, yes, Rocky is entirely a practical effect.
That's awesome.
It's such a cool movie. Really, really groundbreaking stuff right there. And highlights to me that Kathleen Kennedy was, she was the wrong person for the job if she rejected Lord Miller's perhaps brilliant work on Solo, but we'll never know.
Lauren and I were just talking about that yesterday on M4Cast AM about what was Lord and Miller's, what was their cut of Solo like? Because there's a lot of comedy in Project Hail Mary, but it works within the confines of the story. It's never hacky. It's not like Marvel comedy where it's not like the, well, that just happened kind of like Marvel comedy, or the, can you believe this guy? Or did he really just say that? It's, not the hack comedy that I have to wonder if Lord and Miller were the ones, or whether this was Ron Howard who did the well, what's your last name? Who are your people? No one. I'm alone. So you're Han Solo. I almost walked out of that movie when they said that, man. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, it's such a very, very particular character with a strong fandom and so forth. You got to approach those things carefully. Now, perhaps maybe Lord Miller did not do that, right? Perhaps they maybe went too far in some places. But like Marv said, we'll never actually know. And when I see the results of Project Hail Mary with created characters and I know it's based on a book, but really this is for all intents and purposes original non-franchise film and so forth. When I see what they had to work with and what they did how they did so much with so little kind of highlights to me that if presented, the proper budget, or I think which was what they were given with Solo, and the proper resources, which they were also provided, I had to think that they produced something really, really special and really magical that maybe wasn't appreciated by others at Lucasfilm.
Juliet also for £2 says, how is already 1/4 of the year gone?
Yeah.
That's true, it is.
That's insane.
Crazy.
April.
Yep. Well, guys, 1/4 of this show's not gone yet. We have got to get to our launch story because we have got a very interesting story coming at us from thatparkplace.com, but also just like something that I think we were all kind of hoping that Disney was eventually going to do that they've now done. And I'm very excited to talk about it. Let's talk about it today here on That Park Place. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the days of dreamers of all ages may be over. The Walt Disney Company is bringing back gendered language into the Disney parks. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, this is a biggie. This is a biggie because this was one of the worst decisions that I think Disney made. You always had the fireworks show starting with the classic "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls," and the pro show starts with that now too. Pro is appropriated that over on his show, but they changed it to Dreamers of All Ages. Now it looks like it's starting to come back, maybe slightly. Let's take a look. This is from thatparkplace.com, written by WW Pro. It says, have you been exhausted by cast members referring to you as friend, unable to say sir or ma'am? If so, don't thank the Phoenicians. Thank Bob Iger in a very strange moment in time in which Disney decided to go all in on divisive language edicts at their parks. But now that appears to finally be coming to an end. Disney Parks has indeed begun quietly restoring gendered language, such as ladies and gentlemen, to the announcements, attraction spiels, and perhaps cast member training. It represents one of the most symbolically significant reversals the company has made in years. If that's not a pro line, I don't know what is. It represents one of the most symbolically significant reversals the company has made in years. Disney did not merely drift away from that language by accident. The company very publicly moved toward more gender-neutral speech during its broader inclusivity push in 2021 and 2022, tying that shift to its internal culture and guest-facing presentation and cast member guidance. So let's hear what happened on the monorail recently. Let me pull up this actual Twitter page.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Magic Kingdom monorail station.
All right, so if you guys couldn't hear that, it said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Magic Kingdom monorail station.
I heard that. It's nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll stand,
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will stand, please hold on to the hand. If you're standing, please hold on to the handrail. They brought that back. That is not a thing that has been there for quite some time, guys.
Yeah, super significant because, obviously this was the first of many measures, right, taken to reimagine the Disney parks for a modern age. And, you mean what came along with this.
Reimagine tomorrow, Vash? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they're very much trying to reimagine tomorrow for today. And I don't know if it, went off particularly well with the a certain segment of the population for sure, but the greater public, right? Because, we started seeing like, oh, hey, cast members can't refer to you as prince or princess anymore. Now they refer to everybody as friends, even instead of folks, which I thought was a little bit weird. You also saw during this time, like the end of Splash Mountain, for example, but also too the removal of Zippy Doodah and some other things. So all of the things that we've associated with Disney parks being maybe just a little bit too contemporary, really, were first ushered in with this small but significant change of getting gendered language. And I think you had at least Disney parks officials actually stating, how proud they were that they actually got rid of this gendered language. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's synonymous with our history. And it's been recorded over, thousands and thousands of times. We just got rid of all of that. And it was a really big initiative to modernize the park. For what they felt was a noble cause, and we started to see all kinds of other decisions, but there you go. It kind of started with this. This was the origins, and to reverse course on this at least a little bit, I think is really something.
I think so too. I definitely think so too. MJ, was it noticeable for you when they stopped including gendered language in with just the general messaging that you would get in the theme parks?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I'm a sucker for the shows, right? Like you guys know I like the fireworks and the parades and I'm always paying attention. I do enjoy taking the transportation around the resort. So I'm always my ears are always like, you know, but this is huge. Guys, nothing goes in vain. We've been at it for a long time talking about it. Like you said, Marvin, our good friend Pro has been, we've all been advocating for this and they must be really listening. And if this is on a work order list for tomorrow, and I applaud it. I'm thankful to God for this. This is the way it should be, and I'm just taken back. I'm absorbing all of this. I actually have chills when you. This is just fantastic. I'm really 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 happy they brought this back and listening.
So, Erica, we're starting to see this now on the monorails and the transportation system.
Mhm.
We're seeing this in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. But now, do you think that we're eventually going to get gendered language back in things like the pre-fireworks announcements or overall, PA announcements within the theme parks themselves?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They've already started it somewhere. So that tells me once they start it in one area of the company, it's going to start little by little, or maybe relatively quickly, start transitioning back over. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
Absolutely. Vash, why do you think this change was most felt? Probably in the fireworks shows, right?
Yeah. I would certainly say so. I think Dreamers of All Ages, I thought, for the current Barks presentation that's playing at Magic Kingdom right there, I thought that might actually harken back to when this show was originally established. But we did see, like, for example, like the Electrical Parade when it made its return at Disneyland over there in California. We saw that to all who come to this happy place instead of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I think that was really, really profound, right? Because those are like original recordings that go back to the 1970s when that parade made its debut, 72, I believe. And so changing those, altering those, that was kind of a big thing. Again, like where the inclusivity key comes in, right? Where the changes of the Disney look come in, all of that's predicated on the small things that they ended up doing. And it all kind of led to bigger moments. So the fact that you don't have somebody in management or maybe somebody, who's doing coordination with sounds and so forth related to this particular attraction, that being the monorail, not saying, no, you have to use this one, I think it's really, really significant. And I do believe, was this the kind of original recording that was part of this? Or, because Marvin, I think
it sounds like the original recording. It
okay.
Sounds like they brought it back.
Yeah, it's a restoration, right? So somebody kept them and somebody restored them. This is a very intentional effort to make this change right here, which is, I think, says a lot.
Agreed. And you know what? Maybe we're going to stop seeing them lean so hard into gender ideology. I think that what I'm really interested to see is in 2 months from now, in June during Pride Month, if they are going to, because last year it was a rather subdued Pride Month celebration in Disney. I don't know if you noticed that last year, but we covered it pretty extensively. Like the merchandise was scaled back. They still did the murals and stuff like that, but yeah, like they are not really making the big deal out of it that they once did. So
yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
There's a movement.
Right. I mean, like, I feel like, speaking of movements, I wasn't laughing at what Vash was saying before. I was laughing because there was a diarrhea medication ad on the side of the page.
Oh, really?
We're talking, and I was just like, does it know that I had Mexican food the other night? Like,
whoops.
Well, no upset stomachs here with this great news. I am so glad. And
this worked way better than any kind of
fabulous
that's being advertised apparently on that park place. But yeah, guys, this is huge news. This is great news. It's a step in the right direction, and I applaud them for it. So we'll see if this moves anywhere else, or whether or not Dreamers of All Ages will remain in the theme parks. But for the moment, bravo, Disney. Well done. All right, let's get back to our wonderful friends from all over the world. That ad just really threw me. Like,
If things keep going positively, we're gonna have we gotta make a little clip, right? To celebrate, like a little 2-second long clip of fireworks or something whenever they get something right.
I think we should just do like a sarcastic, like,
Yeah.
Yes.
like, yay, you did the bare minimum. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, I will say this is happening under what, Josh Dumaro's era, right?
Yeah, it is.
So
It
is.
I don't know.
It really
is this
is.
more things to come?
Is this a brighter
Let's
tomorrow?
hope.
Brighter tomorrow.
By the way, that should have been their slogan going into this. It should have been "Welcome to Disney, a brighter tomorrow."
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait,
Yeah.
now you got to be careful because we don't want to offend Iger.
Well,
It's all
that's the thing.
about
We
his
can't
legacy.
point out that anything needs to be fixed. Everything is perfect, and like we just have to maintain now. We've been given such a
Exactly.
wonderful win by Bob Iger.
Bountiful harvest.
Yeah. Long Rua for 50,000 Vietnamese dong says, know a friend that used to be a Disney lifeguard that has to address boys and girls with little buddy and little princess respectively. Well, that is, little princess is gendered. So
That's good.
I guess at a water park you can or at a pool, you can kind of like get the picture based on what bathing suit they're wearing.
I mean, it's pretty loud and clear. Girls' bathing suits to
Obviously,
a boy.
I mean, look, the whole reason behind this is they're trying to avoid the "it's ma'am" situation.
With a beard, man, with a beard.
I've seen it. We all
Yeah.
seen it. We
Yeah.
saw it at the Baby Body Boutique where that dude in the dress with the beard and the makeup was like,
Yeah.
"Come, little girls, let us give you a makeover."
Mm-mm.
No.
Ugh.
When
Our
Ke-
merchant for
Yeah,
$5
sorry.
is reversing, like those record ratings and fan viewerships they claim that instead appear to be going in reverse. Maybe that's why they're reversing.
Yeah, maybe. That's an interesting point.
Doge Pal, member for 2 months, says the reversal is a win for everyone with common sense.
Amen. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
But, it's funny because I think back to that South Park episode that had the Jonas Brothers in it. And the whole point was like that Disney is like specifically designed for like wholesome, content for Christians, but they're hiding like, sexuality in the Jonas Brothers to sell to little girls because of the purity rings. But now I'm like, Disney doesn't even pretend to want,
No.
Christian audiences anymore.
That's a
No,
fair
not
point.
anymore.
They want the exact
That's a
opposite. So
fair
just,
point.
how quickly things change. And because I feel like that South Park episode was probably 20 years ago. And I'm just thinking of it as if it were like 5 years ago. But one with the Jonas Brothers.
That's what happens when time flies. You think it was just yesterday, and it was like, what? That was a
Seriously.
decade ago?
I started watching a Hulu Disney show over the weekend, and I've already finished it now. It's called Paradise. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Mm.
They have a new season, right?
Yeah.
Heard of it, but haven't seen it.
So I watched the first season and was like completely like pulled into it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is phenomenal.
It's
This
good.
is engaging. It's got like a good anti-communist message because like
Yes.
the paradise that they form is like a communist society.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I like this. It's like based. And then I watched the second season and all the woke starts creeping into it.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
This is why only women should be in charge. And like lines like that,
Yeah. I like the actor too, the main guy. He's
But at
pretty
least like,
good.
in like the apocalypse, like they go to because they actually show you like life outside the bunker in season 2. And I'm like, oh good, there's still drag queens.
Well, the end of season 1, they were trying to like take down the lady, right? The bad guy. She's like the evil
Yeah,
person.
but she's in season 2 also. It's a interesting second season.
Cool.
So all right, guys, without any further ado, let's get to our next scoop.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Walt.
You enjoy it.
We will.
Universal is making a strange play for Disney fans, specifically Walt Disney World annual pass holders, with a special discount not for Universal pass holders, but for Disney pass holders. And we're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, this is a bold move by the folks over at Universal. Now,
Oh, yes.
let's take a look. This is from Blog Mickey. It says, while a recent Universal Orlando Resort survey garnered a lot of excitement in the fan community when it presented various options for an Epic Universe annual pass. That wasn't the only thing Universal was exploring feedback on. After asking guests about a wide variety of Epic Universe annual pass options, which included things like a block of 10, essentially, like 10 visits, it wasn't like a straight up annual pass. Universal also wanted to get feedback on other ideas for their current annual pass offering. One idea that stood out from the options that were floating around is a trial rate discount on a Universal annual pass for current Walt Disney World pass holders. Now, here's what Blog Mickey knows. In survey to guests, Universal Orlando has thrown out the idea of offering a discount on an annual pass to Universal Orlando Resort for guests who currently have an annual pass to Walt Disney World. Presented as the Disney Status Match perk, Universal was seeking feedback on allowing Walt Disney World pass holders to purchase a Universal annual pass at a discounted one-year trial rate. No other information was offered on the idea, but it is an interesting one. As Walt Disney World and Universal battle for the casual tourist attention, there is also a battle for the attention of the devoted annual pass holders, especially as pass prices continue to rise. Currently, Walt Disney World annual passes range in price from $489 for the lowest tier up to $1,629 for the highest tier pass. All Walt Disney World annual pass tiers offer access to the 4 Walt Disney World theme parks, and most of the passes have blockout dates. Over at Universal, there are 2 park passes and 3 park passes. The third park, however, is Volcano Bay Water Park, not Epic Universe. So Universal's cheapest 2 park pass is $425, which is $64 cheaper than Walt Disney World's, and Disney offers 2 more theme parks. Universal's most expensive pass is $905, which is a full $700 cheaper than Disney World's top tier pass. That one makes sense. Because remember, they're comparing the Universal's 2 park pass to Disney's cheapest pass. Disney's cheapest pass is the Pixie Pass, which only allows access on the weekdays. I believe Universal's cheapest 2 park pass still allows weekend access, and doesn't. I don't think Universal has blockout dates, do they?
Just a few, not too many.
Yeah, but not like the entire, like Disney's, like the Pixie Pass is blocked out for like the entire summer.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good point.
Like Disney has access, so like I don't want to hear it from Blog Mickey about that. But guys, what do you think about this? Universal targeting Disney pass holders with a special discount. I think it's smart, to be honest.
I think this is a really, really great move. I mean, obviously, you do have a contingent of Disney parks fans that maybe have annual passes are maybe a little bit dissatisfied with the product, right? It's not maybe the same as it was years ago, or maybe you have other issues related to your visits, like construction, for example, operational issues, etc. Universal seems to have a lot of those things sorted out. They really believe in their product. And this is kind of saying, hey, look, listen, we believe in it so much that if you give us a chance, I think, you'll become like lifelong fans, right? And a lot of people just haven't necessarily jumped in because maybe there are cost inhibitions with owning, both Universal passes and Disney passes and so forth. But I think this is definitely a statement by management that they believe in their product enough to provide a discount predicated that you have an annual pass to Disney parks. I think this is a wonderful move, and it's really kind of out of the box thinking that makes Universal really kind of maybe a little bit more nimble than their Disney counterparts.
Absolutely. Now, Erica, one of the common complaints that I've heard from locals who have a Disney pass about getting Universal passes, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. It's expensive. But now, if they're offering a lower rate for 1 year, that gives people the ability to actually try it out at a lower cost and maybe see if they like it better than Disney. Do you think this could lead to people either having both, or do you think it might actually draw people away from Disney and over to Universal?
I think it would depend on the person's interest and how they theme park. For me, I would just have both, but that's just me. I love theme park. It's an interesting concept. I honestly expected more of people that are pre-existing Universal pass holders to get a discount on a new upcoming annual passport with Epic Universe added. I think a lot of us, that's kind of like traditionally what's expected.
I mean, so that's not what we're seeing in this
Yeah, I know.
survey that was done. When they talked about the universal Epic passes, it suggested a 2-year or 4-year locked-in annual passes, or it also wondered about requiring reservations. So a little bit about what they said. It's a survey, obviously. Multi-year locked-in. Universal presented multiple annual pass type options, but some of the most interesting offers were multi-year locked-in annual passes. Universal asked us about 2-year locked-in, 3-year locked-in, and 4-year locked-in annual passes. That would be a massive departure from the current system. Which, I mean, look, if you're locking in the same price for 4 years, that's actually pretty good.
Oh, that's not a bad. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, because I'm thinking people's finances, anything life altering can happen from one day to the next, and to be locked in for more than a year.
But now they're also talking about doing theme park reservations, which I think that
I don't. Which I hate. I
hate the theme park reservation system at Disney, but at the same time, with Epic Universe's issues with how like highly trafficked it is right now, I think they would have no choice but to do that, Vash.
Oh yes, demand is way too high, and to offer unfettered access, right? Because there's kind of what the three-sided triangle in terms of managing demand, right? You even have you can either have it open all at once, or you can up the price, or you can I always forget the third one. Anyway, the idea being that unless you raise the price extremely high in order to prevent people from actually going, you have to have another system in place, right? Otherwise, maybe that is in the form of reservations, or maybe that those are in the form of some other inhibitions to really spread out that demand. That's the kind of the problem that's really happening right now with Epic Universe, especially when an attraction goes down like Star Wars Racers, for example. The park just simply cannot handle it. And so this is why you have Comcast executives coming out saying, yeah, I mean, we're not quite at 100% capacity. We will eventually get there, but we're just not there yet. I don't know if they're going to be at 100% capacity anytime soon, given that they've been having so many problems with these really custom attractions that they built for Epic Universe.
Yeah, absolutely. They also were offering a traditional annual pass upgrade, but it would actually double the price of your AP. And they also had the option of multi-day add-on tickets that would allow existing pass holders the option to visit on multiple days during a specific visitation window. Some options that we're told about were single-day add-ons up to 10-day add-ons. Visitation windows range from a few months to an entire year. Again, multi-day add-on products would require theme park reservations. It seems like every option requires a theme park reservation. Also, there's the option of a weekend-only annual pass, which I think is smart, but it's not something I would ever want.
Didn't Epcot or Disney used to do that with Epcot? They had like the 4 p.m.
They had Epcot
pass.
after 4.
Yeah.
They had Epcot after 4, which was...
and there has been a debut of the after 2 p.m. Tickets, which I thought it was very, very interesting. However, I thought the price was way too high for what they were asking.
Right. So MJ, do you have a Universal annual pass on top of the Disney one?
No, actually, but my daughter, the one that's a student at UCF, she has an annual pass. I gave up my annual pass a while ago for reasons, right?
If you were a Disney pass holder, though, would you be more likely to get a Universal pass if they offered a deal like this?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. It's a strategy. They know who to target. It's a really good strategy to have because you're trying to bring in the folks with they're not afraid to make a big purchase like that, because that is an annual pass is an investment. It's not something that's very it's an expense. And if you think about it, there's a lot of people with, large parties or families that would invest in having something like that. And that's what they're targeting, because those are the people with the money they're willing to shed the money. And I think it's a great thing to do for someone who's already an annual pass holder at Disney, because they're just about 25-30 minutes away from each other. It's a really good strategy. There's nothing else to it. But like you guys were all just saying, I was listening to you guys talk about Epic. Epic is an infant park. They're still working out the kinks. there's good days, there's bad days, but nobody wants to wait 5 hours to ride Ministry of Magic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we just have to factor all of that. And I think they know that. And that's probably why they might lean towards reservations. But look at the Disney parks. They have reservations in place, and you still, there's not.
There's never an issue getting a reservation for the most part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the
typically-
lines are not even that long. I mean, I still cannot get it through my head how they sell the lightning lanes the way they do, because you're not waiting that long.
Well, I mean, no. So in some cases you are, but like when it comes to the reservation system with Disney, I found that like the times where like it would fill up are typically times where the lower passes are blocked out, so it kind of evens itself out. It's been very few times where it's usually only like Magic Kingdom being sold out on like the 50th anniversary date, or like the day that like the nighttime parade started. Those were kind of the only things that I've ever noticed with not having. The only thing that's annoying is having to actually do the reservation. Like,
Right.
Go ahead, Vash.
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's an inconvenience at Walt Disney World, a minor inconvenience, but it's a big inconvenience for something like Disneyland, right? And Blogmaking actually made the point in the previous article talking about the surveys and so forth, and actually adding on a reservation system that would be more akin to Disneyland, which is you pay, I mean, in Disneyland's case, you pay $1,900 for a pass, and you have to make reservations for every single entry that you want to go to the parks, and there are huge restrictions on like missing a reservation, right? If you accrue 3 within the 90-day period, you can't make reservations for, I believe, 30 days or something like that. There are huge issues when trying to handle that demand, and that 3-sided triangle. I just remembered, you can either have unrestricted entry, low crowds, or low price. You can't have all three, right? You have to kind of pick.
Trying to go to Epic Universe this weekend because my birthday is next week. And we were looking at it, and we were just to regular go, like it's sold out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Right.
Yeah.
No one can go on Saturday.
Yeah, they've been selling out like crazy. But Marvin, I really think that the majority of the folks with annual pass holder that are annual pass holders, they're not really going to the theme parks just to go on all the rides. They're really there to just, get away from your average daily work schedule, to relax, take in the ambiance of the park, and try the tasty new treats that are always coming out. They're not really jumping on the rides. So, I mean, they really also have to look at what are the habits of annual pass holders? Are they there for just the rides, the food,
Yeah, if I had an Epic Universe annual pass, I would just go and just to sit in Super Nintendo World.
Exactly.
Like,
Take it all in, right?
I'd buy one of those turtle shell calzones and just sit on a bench and enjoy the ambiance.
That's it.
It's just such a fun, or even just I could go and never leave Celestial Park.
Yeah.
It's just that beautiful.
Yeah.
So
It is amazing. To illustrate just how many operational problems that Universal might be having right now, I guess they're closing at 9 p.m. every single day for 3 months out in the calendar. I mean, there is no 10 p.m. closing or later that's currently available right now. One of the reasons go ahead.
No, please.
Well, one of the reasons why that might be is, as Thomas Moslem actually recently illustrated at a Disneyland symposium that took place about a month ago or so at that park, he was suggesting that in his staff, or that maybe they might close the parks early in order to facilitate ride refurbishments and to have better operational throughput, right, on a regular operating day by closing early. So those are kind of the strategies that are employed by some of these, park proprietors in order to handle things like maintenance and so forth. It's a high demand park, one of the highest demand parks right now in North America currently as it sits. So how do you mitigate that sheer demand, right? When you have such limited supply, you end up doing things like reservations, maybe even lower hours, etc.
When it comes to Epic, this is a park that was designed to be a completely different park when the sun goes down. It is one of those parks that was designed with the nighttime experience. And when it closes at 9:00 in December, well, that's fine, because you've got about 2.5 hours of darkness where you can explore at night. We were just there, I was there with Pro and Lorne last month with the sun starting to set at like 7:30. We got maybe 30 to 40 minutes of nighttime before we head.
That's not enough.
It's really not, especially when you want, especially if you want to see all 4 of the portals, at night. That's difficult to do. We didn't like Lauren had wanted to see Darkmoor at night. We weren't able to even get over there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was. I did get Lauren on Donkey Kong roller coaster though. That was fun.
I do think, I don't know if Universal has explored this idea, but a lot of annual pass holders, to MJ's point, a lot of us buy annual passes, not just because of the rides, but because it's an investment. There's more to an annual pass than just accessing the park to get on rides. There's discounts from hotels to merch, food. And then there's other perks too that I wonder if Universal maybe haven't considered. My point is, if you bring the benefits to the table, people will invest whatever price you put with that annual pass. I know because I'm one of those people. You bring in like a nighttime exclusive for annual pass holders. You bring in, I don't know, maybe for Florida residents, have their own kind of like the annual pass days for at least the locals, because a lot of us that are out of state or country maybe can't get in on those, but you guys that are in Florida could. I mean, if they really could just hone in on the benefits, and trust me, people will come and they will buy your annual pass because of all of the benefits that come with it. It's not always about being the sticker price, the price, and being sticker or price shocked.
My question about an Epic Universe annual pass though would also be with this reservation system. Is it just for Epic Universe, or do you now have to make a reservation to go to Universal and Islands of Adventure? Because that I would be annoyed at.
I would doubt.
Know. That's a good
I
one.
would doubt that it would be for the other parks. I think it's just for Epic Universe. I think they
Hope so.
might have said that in the article, but I'm not sure. Just the purpose of reservations would just be to mitigate demand, and that would be it. If demand stays the same, even with Epic Universe being added on, there would be no reason to add it on to the existing parks.
Well, guys, either way, Universal is making a big play for Walt Disney World pass holders with these surveys, and time is going to tell how Disney responds to that.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Was that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
That one felt apropos today. I just wanted to get that one out there.
I love it.
So, guys, give a content creator some wings today. Gift some That Park Place memberships. We'd love to add to our green here in the chat, because it might not be that easy being green, except at That Park Place, where it's one of the easiest things you'll ever do in your life. Guys, I don't see any super chats lined up, so we might just be able to move on to the next story, because Disney is definitely making a play to hold on to its APs, and it's actually a fairly big play. So let's have a look over at what Disney is doing in our next attraction.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
Universal is making a huge play for Walt Disney World pass holders, trying to bring them over to the other side of town. But Disney is not going down without a fight. They're offering major perks for pass holders, including 40% off dining for APs. Let's talk about it today at That Park Place. Guys, we always say when there's competition in the marketplace, it is the fans and the consumers who benefit the most from it. Yes. Because we saw it in pro wrestling back in the late 90s with Monday Night Wars. Right? You had WWE at the time. WWF was competing directly against WCW on Monday nights, and because of that, it fostered an era of increased creativity. And it forced both companies to be at their absolute best, because there was another dog in the fight. And I think that's what we're starting to see now, because let's take a look at this from Disney Tourist Blog. Disney World brings back 40% off dining discount for APs. This is by Tom Bricker. Says Walt Disney World has announced details for the discount at select restaurants during the 2026 VI Pass Holder Summer Days. This is an aggressive 40% discount that's normally only for cast members, and includes some of our favorite character meals and signature spots. Here's the full info. For starters, VI Pass Holder Summer Days will occur May 1st through July 31st. This year's version of the event is a little over 2 weeks longer than last. In-park focus of the event appears to be at Epcot so far, but like last year, Animal Kingdom will likely also be an emphasis. Those are the two parks most in need of a boost during the summer due to Diet Epcot and construction of Tropical Americas, respectively. Along with announcing the restaurants that'll offer 40% off for AP appreciation this summer, Walt Disney World has also teased the release of a Toy Story magnet, which makes sense given that Toy Story 5 is the big summer release. Okay, they are tying releases in the parks to big summer films. I want you to remember that for a story we're going to do later in the show. Or another video on the channel if you're watching it in that way. Walt Disney World is still in the process of revealing the details about the ways annual pass holders can take advantage of the appreciation, but they wanted to specifically here on Disney Tourist Blog draw attention to the dining discount as it is a whopper. It is. Let's see. Do we have a list here? Save 20% at the following restaurants Monday to Thursday from May 1st through July 31st. Be our guest for lunch and the Crystal Palace for lunch and dinner. 20% off Crystal Palace dinner. That's not bad. But 40% off Monday to Thursday, May 1st through July 31st at Beer Garden for lunch, Coral Reef for dinner, Garden Grill, lunch and dinner, Hollywood and Vine, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Tiffin's for dinner, 40% off Tiffin's. I'm there, dude. Like, that's good. Tusker House, lunch and dinner, Boatwright's Dining Hall, dinner only, Cape May Cafe, dinner only. That would have been great 15 years ago. Lido, tapas and steak and seafood for dinner, and Whispering Canyon Cafe, brunch and dinner. I think those are the only ones. It's a great picture of Piglet there. Valid only Monday through Thursday at participating locations. Capacity and reservations are limited. To enter a theme park, you need valid admission. At the time of purchase, pass holders must present their valid annual pass ID. Well, that's offensive. And offer valid for Walt Disney World Resort pass holders only. So, guys, I think the big one here is Tiffin's, Vash. Have you ever eaten at Tiffin's?
I have not eaten at Tiffin's, but you're talking about a location that I always thought had, regular visitation and demand. So the idea that you're putting it on this list amongst so many others is really profound. And we've seen this kind of trend lately with summer demand, going down pretty consistently year over year, ever since I'd say the pandemic, really. It's been happening for a little while here, and it's just so interesting, the variety of different deals and so forth that I should say Disney is employing because of things like Universal, like you beautifully pointed out at the top of this segment right here. But also too, just what can we do to really foster, to or cultivate demand for some of these parks that may have issues, as pointed out in the article. I think it's extremely fascinating right here. And the fact that they're going with food and so forth, that's an interesting idea.
40% is huge, though. Like, that's really big. I am honestly shocked at a 40% discount because that, like they said, was reserved only for cast members, really. Like, that was like, your cast member friend wants to go out to dinner and you're like, oh, cool, 40% off. That's great. But I mean, 40% off some of these restaurants, that's a lot of money, especially a place like Tiffin's where, it has anyone here eaten at Tiffin's before? Am I the only one?
Yeah, I think you're the only one.
It is the best restaurant in Animal Kingdom. It's so good. There's a reason why when they were building Pandora, Joe Rohde ate at Tiffin's every single day. Like they used to say, if you want to meet Joe Rohde during the construction of Pandora, just try to go into Tiffin's at some point during the day and see if he's in there. Because
we've all kind of said Animal Kingdom, the park and the resort have the best food on property, but so that's a no-brainer. I'm shocked that the character dining is at 40% off.
Yeah.
And for those in the audience that don't know, so Cape May Cafe and Garden Grill, those are two character dining experiences. Yep. It's a cool kid summer. So if you're parents out there with little ones and you're planning a quick trip, those two are character dining meals. And I think that's insanely, that deal is insane. 40% off. I saw this a couple of days ago. I'm so glad you brought this up, Marvin. I have a question though, that's been I'm dying to ask because I haven't been an annual pass holder for Universal in quite some time. Does Universal ever offer this kind of deal for their restaurants on property?
Universal doesn't have many table service restaurants in its parks.
Okay.
For the most part, Universal has kind of found this niche somewhere between quick service and table service. So like Minions Cafe, for instance, and most quick service locations, you walk in, you sit at a table, you scan a QR code, you order on your phone, and somebody brings it to you, but it is quick service food.
Okay.
They don't have things like Tiffin's typically, in the parks. I mean, they've got like Mythos, which is, Vash, the number one rated theme park restaurant 10,000 times.
Yeah, for 10 years running or something like that. By theme park
10
inside.
years
Yeah,
running,
yeah,
30
yeah.
years ago.
They need to
I
update
swear.
that banner totally. And
They
if you
do-
go in there to
they do
eat, it's just
update
because
that
of the
banner
rock work.
occasionally, though. Like they'll break out a new one, and I'm like, really, guys? We're still
Yeah.
doing this?
I blame Robert Niles for starting this friggin' trend, but it's so hilarious. No, you're exactly right, Marvin. Not a lot of table service over there at Universal, unfortunately, even though they do table service, I think quite well. But look, I think we've seen a change in consumer behavior, consumer pattern that might be behind some of these moves as well, right? I remember being, lucky enough to be part of to view a presentation internally from Disney a couple of years back, and they were actually suggesting that look, I mean, people have kind of fallen off when it comes to our table service dining locations, and they were actually saying it was more time related than it was actually price, which I thought was a very interesting thing, right? Because well, and the reason they said that is because
they've ever had. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, that's
the reason why they said it. I thought was interesting. One was that people like aren't willing to sit for like 60 or 90 minutes for a restaurant because of like Lightning Lane, for example. At that point, it was called Genie Plus. But if you've already bought into that system, you're looking to get the most value out of it, so you don't necessarily want to be tied down to a dining location. That was what they were saying, and I thought that was really, really interesting. Here, obviously, they've gone for a price, right? It maybe suggests how overpriced these restaurants really are. But I'm sure they've seen a decline in this, as I think the trend has really happened nationwide, right? We see a lot less table service dining just kind of everywhere in the U.S., but I would think theme parks, maybe time is a factor, but I would certainly think cost is for sure.
Well, I mean, these restaurants definitely don't get any cheaper.
Right.
What's fascinating? Now, Beer Garden, that's one that, guys, if you've never been there, you should go there. If you like German food, I mean, it's a German buffet, and it's wonderful. I love it. Lunch at Beer Garden, 40% off. I'm there. I gotta call up Jay and be like, we gotta go, because it's Beer Garden is just tremendous. Coral Reef, I hate Coral Reef.
They redid their menu. They had to. It was so bad.
Did they? Yeah, because for a long time it was the worst.
They just upgraded their menu, and Whispering Cannon Cafe, Beer Garden, those are two kind of like interactive. I think Beer Garden is more like live entertainment, and then Whispering Cafe, it's more of like an experience where you get like a funny waiter or waitress or whatever. I think it's really cool that they threw in some of these really cool dining experiences, because it's not just going there to sit down and eat a meal. You're actually watching a live show or getting entertained by your waiter or waitress. All of this is really interesting. Be our guest for 20% off. At one time, Be Our Guest was impossible to get a reservation for. Now you can just get it.
You can walk in.
Every time
when I walk up, I like ask sometimes, like, hey, you guys have walk-ups available today? Oh, absolutely. When do you want to come in? Oh, when do you guys have walk-ups available? Pretty much all day.
Yeah.
I don't think it pulls people in as much as it used to. But so I've never eaten at Garden Grill or Hollywood and Vine. Tusker House the one in the park, or is that the one at Animal Kingdom Lodge?
So that's in the park, and we did it a long time ago. It was so much fun, and the characters come out in their dress. I think that's also a character dining, isn't it? With the character, if I'm thinking of the right Tusker House,
it's a Donald thing.
Yeah, so like they come out in their little wilderness explorer outfits, and it's an all you care to enjoy buffet. It's very nice, and I highly recommend it. The food is delicious.
Cape May Cafe used to be one of my favorite places on property, and since COVID, it has not been very good. It used to be a clam bake. It was a buffet, all you can eat. Had king crab legs. Had you were given a bucket and a little shovel, and you just shovel clams and mussels into the bucket, and you had like your little butter thing right there, and it was amazing. And now it's just a family style. You care to eat, they bring you out a platter. It's nowhere near as good.
What? You don't walk through? Oh, we haven't been since the boys were little, and we went there for breakfast, and it was honestly at the time the best breakfast we had for buffet.
Oh, yeah, it still is. But yeah, guys, this is a like I said, conflict and competition always end up benefiting the consumer most of all, and that's what we're seeing here, because people this summer, pass holders this summer, might be able to try restaurants they've never tried before, and that is always pretty cool, especially when you're a pass holder, because you go to these parks all the time, and sometimes you're very set in your ways. You hit the same things over and over again because you know you like them. But when there's something like this, a 40% off discount, then maybe it's like, hey, you know what? I've never eaten at Garden Grill, man. I want to try that rotating restaurant. I want to see what it's 40% off. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is great. This is great. I hope more things like this are coming in the future. And it's good to see Disney actually rewarding pass holders, because Disney actually has a history of doing quite the opposite. They usually penalize their pass holders. Like,
so that's 3 character dining on this bullet point list. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's typically, like, so Universal, there's a pass holder lounge and Islands of Adventure. There's all sorts of pass holder perks all throughout the year. SeaWorld has got a pass holder lounge that has free like drinks in it.
Wow.
Disney is the only one that really doesn't do much for their pass holders. They always they used to give you like special gifts at the festivals. They used to give you nice gifts too. Like I got a engraved cutting board one year.
Me too.
Yeah,
that one too.
Tumbler glass. There were champagne flutes. There was some nice stuff they used to give annual pass holders. Now they just give you magnets, and they don't even mail them to your house anymore. Now, you have to be there.
What's with that? Why don't they mail them anymore? That's crazy.
Because they want you to actually be in the park to get them. Because rather than mail them out to all of their pass holders, they just give them out to the ones that are in the park at the time. Because remember, pass holders are all over the world. They're not just in the local area. So
that's true. That's
true.
Why?
People that
they'd rather you book the vacation, spend the money to pick up a magnet. There you go.
That's not going to drive anyone crazy. Thank you for saying that, because I'm like, you want me to book a trip? I'm already paying for the whole year, just to pick up a magnet. They need to mail them. Sorry, that I stand on that. They need to mail them out.
It's just a magnet. I mean,
yeah,
there is such a thing as too much. Like, I don't like clutter on my refrigerator. I've got the Figment one, and that's it. I'm good with that. I don't need a whole 20, 30 of them filling up.
Like paging Mr. Morrow's refrigerator. You'll go cross-eyed.
No. I'm not like that.
My refrigerator has a lot of the magnets on it too. I'll post a picture of it one day. But there you go, guys. So ask yourself this question: if you're a pass holder in Walt Disney World this summer, what new restaurant are you trying? Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Okay, we are. Man, now I'm like, I really want to do Tiffin's this summer if they're offering. My wife,
now I'm rethinking getting an annual pass, because before I was like, we really don't need it. We can wait. And now with that,
yeah,
so I'm gonna have to steal my kid.
I've eaten there with friends before, so yeah, I'm excited to try out a little bit more of that. So
I want to try the Garden Grill one with the kids, because we've done all the character dining, but that one. So what do you think is better there? The breakfast or the lunch, Erica, for Garden Grill?
I've only been there for lunch and dinner. We haven't had breakfast yet. I prefer the dinner. I think the menu is better for dinner at Garden Grill.
I have a friend who's been going with his kids every year for 20 years, and their whole thing has been the first day they get there is Garden Grill. That's the first restaurant they go to.
Okay.
So, it's a favorite of a lot of people. I just have never eaten there before. I like that the characters are dressed as farmers and stuff like that. It's pretty
so
cool.
Cute. Yeah, I saw
the interaction is so cute.
And it's like right next to Soarin', and Soarin's going to have their overlay. It's going to be an awesome summer so far.
It also rotates, so you get like views of
living with the land. Yeah.
Their dessert is really good. I know they had this like fruit shortcake at the time that we went. I even replicated it at home, and it was perfect. It was so good. I
think my favorite family style at Disney right now is still probably Liberty Tree Tavern.
Oh, we love that's an oldie one for us. That one's got a lot of memories for our family.
You get both mac and cheese and pot roast, and you can make the pot roast.
That pot roast is so good.
Really good pot roast, and you can make. They used to have a pot roast mac and cheese over at Friar's Nook in Fantasyland, and people liked it, so it had to go. So they used to have all of this amazing like nonsense mac and cheese stuff throughout Disney. Like it would just be like in one park you can get pot roast mac and cheese, in another park there's pulled pork, in another park it's like seafood mac and cheese. They don't really do that anymore.
What do you guys think about that overlay at the Diamond Horseshoe for Jesse's rodeo thing?
That's fine. It's just for the summer.
Do you think she's gonna show up there with Woody and just like do like a character dinings, or is it gonna be like a show? I wonder.
I'm not sure. I know they've done it before. I've actually never been in the Diamond Horseshoe in any capacity because I've always heard things about it.
Mm-hmm.
We went there once and it was pretty good. It wasn't. We had a good experience. They share the kitchen with Liberty Tree Tavern, so a lot of the food is all like prepped in the same place.
I do love Liberty Tree Tavern.
The recent history of the Diamond Horseshoe is that it's been a seasonal venue, so it's really not open for a lot of times out of the year. So opening it up and offering another kind of show dining experience, I think it's good.
All right, well, time to move it along, guys, because we have got another awesome story on the way. And this one takes us to a galaxy far, far away.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
This May is going to be huge for Star Wars. Not only is it the classic Star Wars holiday that totally wasn't invented by Disney, May the 4th, but also we are going to be getting our first Star Wars theatrical film in many years with The Mandalorian and Grogu. So that being said, you'd think that in the parks, they'd be wanting to roll out some May the 4th merchandise that ties into this film. Not so much. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Guys, this might show us where Disney's mind is at right now when it comes to The Mandalorian and Grogu, because you have to think that this is going to be a great opportunity for them to merchandise the heck out of a movie that they think is going to be a major hit. But it's not. Look at this. This popcorn bucket. It's mostly popcorn buckets. So the Disney parks are going all out for Star Wars Day, which means we're committed to popcorn based madness. Another Star Wars Day is nearly upon us. This is from Gizmodo, by the way, by James Whitbrook, which means, of course, yet further opportunities for unhinged merchandise. The Disney parks are no exception to this rule, which means we're already starting to see what they've got planned for this year's festivities. What's planned is popcorn logistics nightmares. The Disney Parks blog revealed a look at some of the food-based merchandise attendees will be able to pick up around the May 4th celebrations. There's some fun things like the light-up lightsaber swizzle sticks or an oddly spherical bantha masquerading as a drink sipper. But where things really start getting a bit silly are the popcorn buckets, because while the cinema industry is still trying to make increasingly absurd vessels for snacks to chase that Dune Part 2 high, theme parks have long been on board with the idea of basically selling you a giant plastic toy that could ostensibly hold some popcorn. Yeah, this is very true. The more acceptable vessel of the two, so long as you believe that carrying around a severed droid head is acceptable, is a salvage droid popcorn bucket, which I'm going to see if the actual Disney Parks blog has better picture. Yeah, it does. I'm going to switch over to that article right now. So here you see on Disney Parks blog, this is the droid head right here, popcorn bucket. Now that is a protocol droid head. That's pretty neat. This is a bantha sipper, and I guess this is a swizzle stick. What is a swizzle stick?
Does it got candy in it?
Yeah, I think it's like a candy-based stick. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the eyes light up. I might want this now.
Maybe a straw, banana candy. Oh. Yeah, the bucket looks cool. Admittedly.
Limit two per person. That's good. Get those resellers out of there. The bantha sipper, that looks neat.
Because that worked really well for Yoshi.
I got my Yoshi, so I'm happy. I was not able to get the Luma popcorn bucket yet, though. I still have to get that. So hold on. So in Disneyland, the salvage protocol droid bucket will be at the popcorn cart near Star Trader, Galactic Grill's seasonal novelty release, their mobile order, Alien Pizza Planet, Kat Saka's Kettle, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge beverage carts, and also available during Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night. Bantha Sipper, of a lot of the same places. The Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader lightsaber swizzle sticks. This is a rechargeable lightsaber swizzle stick that can be served submerged into sodas or slushies, allowing you to showcase your light or dark side as you stir up your drink of choice.
It's a straw.
Stir a soda or slushie. It's not a straw. I think it's
No?
like it's almost like like when they give you those ones that have like little light up cube in it.
Oh, so it's just for decoration. You just put it in your drink and it lights up.
Then we've got a DJ R3X mug. Oh, I like that. I'm sorry, I like that. I love RX-23. Captain Rex, the original Captain Rex. I'm only seeing Disneyland locations here though, guys. But right here, the Jabba's sail barge bucket. That is the other big one here. That and honestly, I kind of want this one too because it looks pretty neat. Look, you got like the inside, you can see Jabba and 3PO, and is Slave Leia in there too? Probably. I guarantee you she's not.
No. I think they
not.
call her Hut Slayer Leia now.
Do they really?
Yes.
Shut the front door. Like
I'm telling you. I was as surprised as you were, but yeah. And I think the reason why you're only seeing Disneyland locations here is because they have Star Wars Night coming, which, by the way, actually sold out. It was really hard to sell it out last year, but this time around it sold out. And I think all of this is predicated on the timeline shit for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, right? I think it got some pretty good fanfare, and they're looking to put all their eggs in this basket before maybe releasing these things out to Walt Disney World.
Well, look at this. We got the Grinning Loth Cat souvenir mug right there. We've got the Yub Nub souvenir mug, which is
cool.
the Ewok Party. I like that. We've got a Yoda cup. We've got a Jedi cup, like prequel era Jedi, and we've got a Tauntaun. Again, this is all Disneyland stuff. I don't know what's going on at Walt Disney World. But guys, have you first of all, where does the popcorn go in this?
I wouldn't put popcorn in. I'd put it on the shelf or something. Yeah.
When I get a popcorn bucket, where the popcorn goes is the least of my concern because I don't actually put popcorn in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's never going to happen. But have you guys noticed something very specific about this May the 4th merchandise?
No. Nothing Mandalorian related.
Not a single one of them is related to the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, and that's the new movie coming out. So wow.
Yes.
And this is old school Star Wars, right?
Let's take a look. None of this is sequel era stuff either. Have you know? Like, did you guys notice that? Because we've got a C-3PO type protocol droid head, a Bantha, Darth Vader's lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
Episodes 1, 4, and 5 stuff.
We've got Rex. Rex is a park specific character. DJRX-24. And then we've got Jabba's sail barge. We've got the Loth Cat, which is from Rebels. The Yub Nub mug, which is from Return of the Jedi. Yoda, which is obviously prequel era Yoda. Prequel era Jedi, and a Tauntaun from the original trilogy. Not only so, there's nothing Disney Star Wars in here.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Unless you count DJRX-24.
Well, that just, you guys please correct me if I'm wrong, but that just shows that Kennedy doesn't have her hands on this this merch.
I think it's that the Disney parks people who are the ones that decide on what merchandise out are not interested in trying to promote this movie. There's no they're not. Vash, what's your take on this?
No, I think you're exactly right, Marvin. I think if you are coming from consumer products, and we know that consumer products is one and the same when it comes to divisions for Disney experiences, right? Parks and all that, those things. You're very in tune with what actually sells and what actually doesn't move, right? And you are only really interested in producing stuff that sells because, well, now you have excess product that you have to, find a way to get rid of somehow. So I think they're really tailoring towards an audience they know is still out there, is still interested in this merch. Look, if in fact the sequel trilogy sold or Mandalorian still sold, you would see that reflected in here. The fact that you don't, I think it's very, very revealing, and it really goes to show that Kathleen Kennedy was wrong in her assessment that the greater days for Star Wars are ahead of them, not behind them. That was the whole idea, the conceit for the design of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and now we, several years removed from that land actually opening, 7 actually. It's become clear that the OG is what has moved the needle when it comes to Star Wars sales, merch, and otherwise. And this was really true back in George Lucas's era with the prequels and so forth, but really has it really has become more profound as the years have gone on.
Yeah, and guys, this isn't like us poo-pooing on the merchandise. This merchandise is good merch.
Yeah.
There's some
Lauren is
good,
probably
well-made
excited
things.
right now.
It looks like something that any collector would want. The point here is there is no faith in the Mandalorian and Grogu. Rather than being like, we're gonna move these things to coincide with the movie release, it's more like, man, we got to do something that's gonna sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what the Star Wars fans really, really want. I'm wondering how Lauren feels about it. He's probably excited because he's a hardcore Star Wars fan. So.
Not much about Star Wars excites Lauren anymore.
Oh,
He's pretty much given up.
poor guy.
But fascinating though, guys. It's fascinating to see how little there. So now but the Mandalorian and Grogu are taking over Smuggler's Run, but again, Vash, that's a thing that can be very easily swapped out.
I would say so, right? And I think the issues with Smuggler's Run are more related to that attraction and that experience and the quality of that experience, right? I think they're doing it under the auspices of Mandalorian promotion, and there might be some money changing hands between the various divisions, right, in order to facilitate that that upgrade or that refurbishment or whatever you want to call it, in order to cut down on the price of that project. We've seen this with Marvel in years before, where there are characters added to Avengers Campus related to a Marvel advertising budget for whatever particular product that they have coming out, maybe in theaters or in streaming, right? And so that might have a lot to do with it as well. But I think to that end, Josh D'Amaro even said so, right? People like this attraction, they don't love it. I think that's very true for the wider general public. And there are issues that plague that attraction that can be solved with an update. And one of the reasons why you might want to do an update is to promote your latest film. Let's just combine the two elements together and move forward. I think that might be the thinking there, as opposed to merch, which has to sell, or you're just left with product sitting on store shelves.
Not only does the merch have to sell, but I think the merch is a selling point of drawing people into the park that day. So clearly, like, they're trying to move tickets for things, like trying to move tickets on May the 4th, trying to move tickets. Well, you said they sold out for that Star Wars night.
Star Wars nights, man.
Yeah, like, would they actually move? So, I'm shocked there's no Grogu anything, because they love this Grogu. But I mean, look, I have made the point that like with Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, all of these like super merchandisable properties throughout the years, you would always get like, hey, here's the turtles, and here's the turtles in Hawaiian shirts, and here's the turtles as samurai. And there's never been another version of Grogu. And I legitimately think that anybody who wants Grogu has it already.
Yeah.
Like, if they released like Grogu in like Mandalorian armor, that thing would sell like hotcakes, I think.
Yeah. I think it would, and we haven't seen that version of the character make its way, I think, out to the shows at all, which maybe that's coming. But look, if Mandalorian or Grogu merch still sold, it would be presented in this page. The fact that it isn't, the fact that we don't see anything from the sequel trilogy, and this also goes along with the announcement of the timeline change and how they're kind of sidelining the sequel trilogy, literally sidelining it to the Rise of the Resistance area, really speaks to the enthusiasm for, quote, Disney Star Wars, right? Because all of these things are endemic, I would say, of Star Wars as we knew it before Disney actually owned it, including Rex, right? Rex was a creation for Star Tours back in 1987, long before Disney actually owned the property. So all of these things correlate with original George Lucas directly inspired, franchise pieces.
Right. I personally would love to see them start doing more merchandise of ships, maybe some Millennium Falcon, maybe Luke's X-Wing, maybe Boba Fett's ship, the Hutt Slayer 1.
Not bad.
I thought that version of Leia was actually going to be called the Fire Spray Starship Leia.
Fire spray, yeah. Oh, it's so.
I mean, look. Star Wars is still filled with timeless stories, like when Anakin got, freed from being a Hutt Slayer on Tatooine.
You can keep going here.
Well, guys, at the end of the day, a lot of cool merchandise coming out for May the 4th, but absolutely none of it involving the Mandalorian and Grogu. So I wanted to bring this up from Vash over at Vash Sky Parkcast. Says, so frustrating. I heard from an artist that did work for Disney almost 15 years ago now that he was denied the ability to create any artwork featuring Hutt Slayer Leia. Is that? I want to hear more about this.
Oh, yes. So this artist, you might not know the name, but you know the work for sure. He created a lot of like the merchandise items, like the artwork that you actually see on those merchandise items, cups, popcorn buckets, etc. Right, like the printed merch. He also did a lot of artwork that could be sold in kind of the higher end retail shop locations and so forth, right? Collectibles and all of that. Very prolific, doing a lot for Disney. He wanted to do a piece that signified not just Jabba the Hutt and all of that, but also featuring that era of Slave Leia. And he was denied outright. He was like, "No, this is a new ownership, new company. We're not going to do those things. Those are what we did before. This is a new era, and we're going to do things differently." That was 15 years ago, right around the time that Disney actually announced that they had purchased Lucasfilm outright. So it's just, this mentality, this thinking, unfortunately, I don't think has changed unless we see more artwork featuring that character. And a lot of people are kind of watching Maul right now. That's on Disney Plus currently, because Darth Talon, if you know anything about her, right, and if you know her appearance, she might be featured in that show. That's the speculation that's out there right now. And if they go and... Oh, go ahead.
I think she definitely will be.
Right. But are they going to go straight up Darth Talon as we knew her back in the EU, or are they going to water her down in some regard? Right now, she's a child, so we'll have to see how her character actually...
would have to make a pretty sizable time jump for that to work.
Right, I would think so, right, for obvious reasons. But if in fact they go with that version, then you kind of know, oh, okay, maybe they've kind of backtracked on that idea a little bit. If they don't, and if they change her character and how she looks significantly in order to reflect their modern standards, well, then these limitations regarding something like Hutt Slayer Leia and so forth aren't full effect.
Oh, Darth Talon was a favorite of George Lucas, so... What's one of his favorite designs ever. Yeah, he wanted to get her involved in more things before selling the company. They made Darth Talon for the Star Wars Legacy comic book, which takes place 100 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, and George loved the concept so much, he worked it into his treatment for episodes 7, 8, and 9. So
it could have been.
I know. It would have been... Well, and it would have been Maul also. That was part of the reason why he brought Maul back. Maul was supposed to feature into those sequels. So
right. And so maybe some of those ideas are being developed or included in this Maul series there. I mean, I saw the first 2 episodes. I wasn't like put off by it. I was actually pretty impressed by some of the new things that Dave Filoni is doing, and at least in terms of camera work and maybe some character designs and so forth. It seems a little bit more substantial than maybe what was done with Rebels. So it's not like the worst series I've seen. And there are some, maybe I should say attractive females in that series. So maybe the thinking has changed in the post-Kennedy era, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, probably not. All right. We have got one more story, guys, and it's a doozy. We just went to a galaxy far, far away, but we're still blasting off with our big grand finale. I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me. Over in the Magic Kingdom is cause for celebration here, guys, because they are celebrating the reopening of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin with a great ribbon cutting ceremony and some on the spot reviews. So let's talk about whether this was a needed refurbishment or just Disney wasting money. We're going to talk about it today on That Park Place, guys. Here you see it, the outside of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I actually really love the paint job they've done outside the door here, kind of branding it more to that iconic Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger colors. So great job there. We see the ribbon cutting ceremony happening, and this is it officially reopened as of today, April 8th, after closing in August 2025. So it has been closed for not quite a year, but, almost. I mean, about, what was that, 9 months?
Just
8
about.
months, 8 months, something like that. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
But let's see, guys, because our old friend Drew Smith over on X, Drew the Disney Dude, he has a firsthand account of it, a full ride POV, if you will. So let's have a look. I'm turning the sound off to avoid any copyright issues. But I want to take a look at this. So we still have. I thought they were getting rid of this version of Buzz Lightyear with the projection face. Apparently, not so much. Buzz Lightyear projection face still exists. Vash, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, I always thought that projection face Buzz worked well enough. I think in the modern era, his projection's a little dull, right? So if they spruce that up, I think it's acceptable. This is kind of like the animated characters that you get in Seven Dwarfs Mine Trade and so forth. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the eyes are so cloudy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if they spruce up the projection, I think it works. But if they didn't, it's disappointing to see.
The thing I always liked about this attraction was that it's based not off of the Toy Story directly, but off the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command cartoon, which was actually a really fun cartoon.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree with you.
All right. So let's continue on. We see Buzz giving a little pep talk here. This can all be found on Drew the Disney Dude's X account. So here's our new ride vehicles. This is the refurb of the original kind of space pod type things.
One's already down. That's good.
Yeah, that's a great sign. Is this new? This mural here?
No, it's just either freshly painted or they cleaned it.
Okay. Well, these are brand new ride vehicles. So that's pretty neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was I mean, that's a particular expense there in order to update all of these. You can see the detachable laser cannons now currently in place right there, something that Disneyland has enjoyed for ever since 2005 when that version of the attraction opened, now for the first time coming to Magic Kingdom.
All right, so he's going to sit down. It looks like we still control the spinning ourselves. That's pretty cool. But yeah, now once this comes down, we're going to have the detachable blaster, and that is a game changer on this because one thing with this attraction was always that it was so difficult to aim the stationary blaster. But so there you go. You take it out right there. And now it's kind of like a Men in Black type situation over at, and here's that new robot.
You read my mind a little bit there. I'm excited to go on this with Corbin. I can't wait. It's on our list of things to do within the next 2 months.
Well, here's Buddy the robot, who they made a really big deal out of.
Yeah, and it's a girl, and
it's a she.
Yeah, it's a she. It's anyway.
So did we not know Buddy the robot was a she before the attraction?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Pro covered it a while back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need more girl power in the ride.
I did an analysis actually for that video on Buddy, right, and the use of Buddy in terms of vernacular and everything else. I think it came out 99.99% of all people named Buddy were male. So this is definitely a conscientious effort from Disney, unfortunately.
Doesn't even have like an eye at the end or anything like that. Like
no, just
like an IE would have been cute, but yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, so there we go with Buddy. Where Buddy, I guess, is essentially holding up ping pong paddles for you to shoot at to practice your aim.
Ping pong paddles. That's actually fun.
I like this readout is really nice. We didn't used to have that, did we? It was because it was just the numbers in the analog style.
It was that digital,
yeah. So now this is more like Toy Story Mania, which has the actual cool little like monitor for you.
Right, I was going to say that's a significant upgrade for this particular attraction. I kind of want to see what information is actually displayed there, how they're leveraging that. Could be accuracy and so forth. That could be kind of cool. Also want to see kind of how they're doing the aiming for this attraction right here, because even on Disneyland's, that, like I said, has enjoyed detachable blasters for a while. It can be a little bit difficult to aim. What the recommend that I have is you line up your sight right when you're going through, in this case with Buddy, right? And you're just kind of lining up your sight and you're lining up where that flash is. And so that way you can be consistent down the length of the barrel or scope. Or
so, I mean, like, it all looks very pretty. The Z's are now purple and they light up like that. That's pretty cool. But I'm not like it still looks pretty much the same. Some of these are new. Some of these are definitely new. I think the guy popping out there is new, but it's essentially the same thing, though, right?
Just about. They spruced it up a bit. They updated the technology behind it, and
it looks much newer. It looks sharper.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like a janky carnival ride anymore. I think it actually looks like you're in like a play set or like a cartoon, which I think is what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Right.
Tomorrowland needs this desperately. It's a people eater, and it gets people. I wonder how many people, kind of like the Haunted Mansion. I wonder how many this one. Haunted Mansion takes about what, 2,400 an hour, 3,000 an hour, something like that.
Look at this. When you actually get the hit on the Z, it actually changes color.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I like that.
That's all that new technology.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah.
We're heading in. Here is more Zurg. This is the claw room. Okay. There he is. Zurg is pretty much the exact same.
Okay.
They just changed the Z's up on this. In his Zerginator or whatever that's called. You know, Zurg, funnily enough, Zurg has his own parking lot in the villain's parking lot at Magic Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow. Zurg, Jafar, Scar, Ursula,
well, maybe
Cruella. I think Cruella has one. I don't remember.
Maybe we can expect him at Villain's Land there.
Yeah. All right, so this is
such a good
where we
ride.
go into the Star Tunnel. Now I guess it's an escape hatch. This is supposed to be like where you actually fight Zurg.
Right. Right. And I think your picture is taken somewhere in this area. At least it is in California. I'm not sure how it is in Florida.
In Florida, it was always at the end.
That looks really
they've completely redone this.
I
This
love
is
that.
So much better.
So much better.
Wow.
I love the pace of this ride. It's so perfect for little ones. It's so nice.
You have Buzz Lightyear flying around.
That's
doing
cool.
Battle. That's really neat.
Yeah.
I got
Are those targets dynamic there? Oh, it looks like they are.
idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Y'all don't want to know what I
You can
do
see the
during
targets
this part of the ride.
come up and then come down. That's interesting.
That's fast.
First time they've implemented something like that.
So I got stuck there. You get your picture taken pretty much right here. I got stuck in that Star Tunnel one time and didn't realize it for about 5 minutes. I was like, wow,
If you're
it's taking a while here.
claustrophobic, that's not good. I would probably be freaking out.
Because it feels like you're moving because of the way the screens are going. But yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So there's Zurg. I'll get you next time. Curse you, Buzz Lightyear.
Oh wow, that was actually really good.
Thank you. It's my Dr. Claw voice, essentially.
I thought you pressed a button.
So he's got 106,000. All right, we got that same buzz at the end there. That's pretty cool. I like that buzz better than the one at the beginning.
Yeah.
And there you go. Well, Drew got a planet. I guess he's a planetary pilot. There you go. Does it say it on your thing? No.
It doesn't look like it, which unfortunate that they can't leverage that.
Yeah, that is. There you go, guys. That's it. What do we think?
I think it's nice for kids. Go ahead, Vash.
Yeah, I think it is okay for kids. This is definitely a people mover. Eater. I should say, definitely based on that original people mover technology with OmniMover and so forth, and wheeling you across right there. You know, it's never been my favorite attraction. I think aesthetically, it might not work with the rest of Tomorrowland, especially as it was installed in Disneyland with its 1998 Tomorrowland. Outside of it, it just didn't quite work, I think. And I think Tony Baxter recently had some comments at a talk that he gave over there in San Francisco at the Walt Disney Museum, talking about how it wasn't like his favorite attraction, and he's hopeful that the refurbishment actually, overcome some of the issues that he had. Didn't really detail what those issues were exactly, but I'm not sure. I think this is a decent upgrade. I don't know if it's a game-changing upgrade. I don't know if you enjoyed Toy Story Movie Mania before, which I guess Tony Baxter did, over this attraction in terms of the interactivity and scoring and so forth. I think that will remain the same even after this refurbishment.
Yeah, I think this is a game changer? No. Do I think it's going to sell additional tickets to Magic Kingdom? No. But did Tomorrowland need this? Yeah, it did.
Totally.
This attraction needed this. It was very outdated, and it definitely needed this little push. So now in Tomorrowland, you've got this, you've got Tron, which is brand new pretty much. Space Mountain is pretty timeless.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that works pretty well. You still got Monsters Incorporated laugh floor, which, you know, people don't really go into, and you still have that empty building where Stitch's Great Escape used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So they still are doing nothing with that. You got the Speedway, which is a waste of space. And then you've got a waste of space where you get to inhale, you know, burning oil fumes.
The People Mover.
Yeah, the People Mover, which is always great and timeless, and you've got the Carousel of Progress, which is phenomenal, but it is getting that Walt Disney animatronic soon, which I'm not thrilled about. But
Astro Orbiter, which is
Astro
not
Orbiter
even
as well.
like,
I've never been on the Astro Orbiter. I always forget that it's there.
scary.
Yeah, it is.
I would say Tomorrowland far more functional and far better than what we get out in Disneyland. And Disneyland,
Is it really?
So we suffered. Oh yes, because we don't have a People Mover, for example, right? We lost it with our Rocket Rods upgrade in 1988, and it only played for a single season, right? So it's been just bare track up there ever since. We don't have the Astro Jets or whatever located in that top shelf space there as it is located in Magic Kingdom. We get the Astro Orbiter located at the front of that land on the ground, which is really a shame. It's not really the differentiator between that and Dumbo that I think
I think the
people
elevator
expect.
up to the Astro Orbiter always seemed like a waste of time to me. Like
Yeah, it's operational issues for sure. There's no question about that. But like, there's nothing, you know, in our previous Carousel Progress Theater, right? Roundabout building, which you guys do have the luxury of. So all these kind of things, I think Tomorrowland is definitely superior at Walt Disney World, especially with Tron and so forth. But that being said, though, I think aesthetically, between both Disneyland's and Magic Kingdom's aesthetically, I think there needs to be some cohesion. So I am hopeful for, you know, some kind of refurbishment to take place, some reimagining to take place to really create you know, this interconnectivity between these attractions and really kind of ground the whole land as it currently exists in both parks. But I'm not sure. I like Ken Redhart's comment here. Does this attraction have wings? If you know the history of what used to be there, you know
if you had wings,
that,
yeah.
Right, you know that connection.
I'm curious right now because today is April 8th. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. For those that are watching this on replay. What up, replay gang? We love you. I wanted to check the wait time currently to see what this ride is doing right now.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Sure. So it's got to be a massive wait time, right? Like you'd think. I mean, it's
People
brand
eater.
new, so.
Well, it says 60-minute standby.
It's 60-minute right now. Yeah, 60
But
minutes.
the People Mover is down, and when the Carousel of Progress is down. So whenever there's one ride in that little area down, then it puts more pressure on the other ones.
People that were going into Carousel of Progress aren't in Carousel of Progress.
No one's in the Monsters Inc. laugh floor.
Nobody's
I like that one. I like it.
75 minutes on Space Mountain right now, 105 on Tron. So, but like you said, this is a People Mover. It's an Omni Mover. It should load people a lot faster in theory, but it's still 60 minutes. So that's longer than I would wait for.
It's giving me a little bit of hope for Tomorrowland because it needs it needs a makeover. It needs I don't want to see them tear it down and make it something else, but it needs all of these other Space Mountain is in rough shape. It's nostalgic and they can't get rid of it, but they need to spruce it up a little bit, I think. And then, like you said, those the go-karts, I forget what they're the speed race.
It is definitely spring break over there right now, guys. 45-minute wait for Dumbo right now.
Yeah. Geez, nope. I'm good.
50 minutes for Voyage of the Little Mermaid. 60 minutes for Winnie the Pooh. 85 for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Then meeting Tiana at Princess Fairy Tale Hall is 50 minutes. Cinderella 40. You've got 60 for Peter Pan, 35. It's a Small World, 30 for Haunted Mansion.
That's not bad for Haunted Mansion.
70 for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Then I think was this 40 for Pirates, 90 for the Jungle Cruise.
That's crazy.
It is a crowded day at Magic Kingdom today.
I'm surprised, even as crowded as it is, with this new, with this updated attraction, that we're not seeing even larger wait times there. I'm very surprised by that.
Yep. And by the way, I agree with Ken Reinhardt. Bring back Push.
Push the
Talking Trash Can was a huge get in Tomorrowland if you manage to find him. But I will say over in Disney Springs, they basically have Push over there now seasonally. It's not a trash can, but like it's like Christmas time. They had a talking Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Rolled around, and literally, it sounded exactly like Push too.
Did they
That's
have it
funny.
just in Disney Springs, right? Was that
Yeah, it was
just
in Disney
yeah?
Springs.
And
Disney
that's
Springs owned by
nice
the
because you don't have
Wonderful
to pay admission to go there. You could just go with the family and enjoy
Very
a really
true.
good day and have a nice little interaction. It's fun.
Yep, I love the live entertainment they have at Disney Springs. They used to
I
have the
do.
roaming piano, which would be just like a piano player that would play
I
and
have a
while the
vague
piano like
memory of that.
rolled through Disney Springs.
Hmm.
Around Halloween and Christmas though, they will also have a like a DJ that goes around in like a pod, and that's usually pretty neat. So, but whenever I see like a Push type thing, I always try to find the person operating it. There are certain telltale signs. They usually hang back. They've always got a shopping bag, and
Oh, that's funny.
you catch them talking into their hand like this.
Right now, I think they're really pushing that Toy Story 5 ordeal because in Disney Springs they have all these photo ops where you go inside of like a Barbie doll type of box and it's a photo opportunity so you can
Where?
pretend that you're a doll. They have all kinds of stuff going on at Disney Springs right now. It's crazy.
Where in Disney Springs is that?
I don't know where. I saw it on a vlog that just came out. I'll send it to you. It's over that
I'll
girl,
find it.
Super Enthused. She was at Disney Springs and I think that's where I saw it. Yeah.
Sounds
That-
good.
I thought that was pretty
Sounds
cool.
good. Well, guys, there is a new game in town in Tomorrowland. We're just going to find out if it's a game that anybody actually wants to play. Well, guys, we are out of stories, but we I don't think we have any super chats at the moment. So, Vash, why don't you tell me a bit about what's going on today over at the Vash Sky Parkcast? How you doing?
Yes.
Over there?
Vash Sky Parkcast is going to be really, really cool, talking about what Tony Baxter actually said, going over some of his comments that he mentioned over there at the Walt Disney Family Museum over there in San Francisco, California. Very interesting stuff was revealed there. It was kind of cool to go over some of that. And we're going to be having a new guest on, first time ever on Vash Sky Parkcast. Jared over there from Capture the Magic has agreed to come on, so that's going to be really, really cool. Going to be fascinating to go over some stories with him, including what happened over there at Paint the Night with somebody actually jumping from their seat and getting on a parade float. That's not good right there. Some monorail issues that have been plaguing, the very belabored monorail fleet. That's no good. Obviously, going over to Ladies and Gentlemen, I think that's big news. And so much more. Definitely check out Vash Sky Parkcast today. That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. MJ, you're going to be over there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But tell the folks where they can find out more about you and everything you're up to.
Thank you, Marvin. I'm on X and Instagram and here in this happy place with these amazing people. We're making a difference. And I'm just so excited about today's stories. And Marvin, thank you so much for having me on the show today. If you check my link in the bio on Instagram and on X, you'll see all the other channels I'm featured on and some more exciting stuff coming up pretty soon here. And I'm just so glad to be on with you guys. It was a great day to talk about amazing things. We are making a difference. Our voices are being heard, and I'm just so happy to see things moving in a positive direction. Thank you, God.
Erica, what do you got going on?
Oh, same old. This week is better than last week. So Friday, we will have Brood Banter at 2 p.m. Eastern time after that Park Place. So yes, be there or be square. Up to you. Bring your brew and we'll just chat. I don't know, anything, like literally anything.
So I'm very excited. I just finished the first pass of a major project that I'm working on. It is not connected to either of the websites or either of the channels. So it's not connected with my channel either. It's something completely outside of that. I will be able to make an announcement on that. I'm not sure when. It actually might be a while. But just know, guys, I have a major project cooking right now that I am like beyond excited for. So I will be able to.
Now we have to wait.
Suspense.
Yeah, I can't even tell you off the air. I signed an NDA. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be big. It's gonna be fun.
Is it the restoration of your book a month?
Wait, what? No, God, no. We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
It's a
ever
deep
again.
cut here.
I was hating life 2 years into that. I used to write. What Vash is talking about is my job before that Park Place was I was a ghostwriter, and I would write novels under pen names, and I would have to write an 80,000 word novel every month. But no,
Wow.
Oof, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot.
yeah. But guys, also please check out the M4 Empire, my YouTube channel. We are gonna have a great time Thursday night. We have so much awesome stuff coming to you guys. Special episode this Thursday. Legendary comic book writer Chuck Dixon is going to be our guest, and so Kevin Apollo is like rubbing his hands together. He's so excited for this. It's going to be a great time. We're gonna have a new video hopefully today. I think I'm going to be doing a video about like how nobody on either the left or right wants this new Harry Potter show anymore. So we will talk a lot about that. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who chatted and super chatted. And make sure that if you have not yet, you subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.